everybody, welcome back to my studio. It's really lovely to have you here today. My name is Emma, in case you don't know me, and I'm a textile artist and I live and I work in Cumbria here in the UK. And at the moment it's blowing a hoolie out there today. I feel like autumn is in the air. I know it's still only September, but when I'm doing my little daily walks I'm seeing more and more seed heads appearing, and there is change in the air. I can feel it. The nights are drawing in. We're putting our chickens and ducks and geese and everybody away earlier at the moment. It's getting darker at night, so we're putting them to bed earlier. And it's a slow slide down into the autumn, I think. So I'm beginning to feel like, what am I going to do next? I feel like I would like to have an ongoing sort of project to work through as I go into the next phase of the seasons. I do love doing seed heads. I have to say, seed heads is something which I've done for a lot of years now in different ways. I've done sort of drawings, stitchings. This is a sort of a stitched piece here in my lovely little sort of, it's a sample book. I love to do little samples on fabric and stick them in my book. I stitch them in. I've got some over here which are, these are on very bright colours, but you can still see the lovely shapes that they are. I particularly like the umbels, as they're called, umbelliferae, the carrot family, or whatever you want to call them. I just love the shape of them. I'm always attracted to them. Every year I go out and pick some off the hedgerows, and every year I watch them going through their different phases, from the cow parsley, frothy white flowering phase, right through to the beautiful statuesque autumnal phase. I do things like this where I put them onto my tea cozies that I make. So I've got a very simplified version there, lots of different colours. So you can use, it doesn't have to be sort of autumnal colours. It could be, you know, something with really bright purple. This is a shape that I came up with one year, which is a sort of a very open shape like that, but the same sort of simple stitching on them. I love to use texture. If I can get texture onto anything, that makes me very happy. So this is a seed head that I made one year. It's an older piece, this one. I just really wanted to challenge myself to see if I can make a three-dimensional seed head. So this was made with panels like this. I made 4 sort of petal-shaped panels, and they were all hand-stitched back up together. They've got wire in them, which makes them like this. I used soluble paper and lots of bits of fabric, so they're quite textural, and lots of free machine embroidery going into them. So, you know, we can be making three-dimensional things. As I say, I do a lot of picture type things. This is just a sample that I've stuck onto a board, what do you call it? One of those canvas things. Can't think of the words today. Never mind. So that's quite a simple one. And I've put them in frames, and I've put them without frames, and I just every year I come back to seed heads. So in this jar here, this is, I think, from last year. Every year I go out and pick some, and I'm very lucky because there's all of these things in the hedgerows. I've picked up some poppy seeds from somewhere. They're not actually from my garden, although this year I have got poppies in the garden, so I'm going to go and harvest some of those shortly. They're not quite ready. I think they need to be a bit drier. But things like, you know, these, whoopsie daisy, just such pretty shapes. I don't know whether you can see that. If I hold it up against me, you can sort of see just the pretty little shapes that go on. And they're so easy, I think, to interpret with stitch. I think they're just one of the easiest things in the world, because everybody recognises them, everybody can identify with them, but you can interpret them in the way that you want to do that. So, I mean, I love these beautiful little honesty seed heads. And you can see the little seeds inside. They're like little purses, with little tiny pennies inside them. You get things like this, which I think this is yellow rattle, and it gets these gorgeous little shapes down here. So you've got things with lots of heads going on, or you've got the statuesque. Try and get this out without them all falling to bits. they're even making a nice rustling sound. I think that's quite nice. So I mean, you know, how does it get any better than that? That's just so beautiful. It's got such a lovely simple shape to follow, and how you interpret it is up to you. What colours you use, what stitching you use, what threads you use, what you put as a background is entirely up to you. I love the lines of the stems going down like that. As I say, every year I just keep coming back to them. I just look at them in the hedgerows and go, wow, you know, you still delight me, even after all these years of stitching you into different shapes and forms. So what else have I got in here? This one, oh, these are lovely. These are the allium heads. I have to be careful with these because they do ping seeds everywhere. I mean, they're just gorgeous. Again, you know, a shape that makes a circle, that pings out from a centre, and little blobs on the ends. You know, you can interpret that in lots of different ways, in lots of different colours. I've got some little tiny, these are the little wild yellow poppies. I don't know how many of you have those growing around the lanes near you or in your garden. Tiny little seed heads, but they are so beautiful. The structure of them is so pretty. You know, something else to interpret. And what else is this? This looks like, I'm not even sure what this is. It might be, oops, it snapped something there. We'll just get that out of that. There we go. I think, I'm not quite sure what this is, whether it's feverfew or something. But again, you know, lovely simple lines, simple shapes with little blobs on the end. I'll put them up against. I think it worked quite well that I've worn something dark today because you can actually see it. I was feeling a bit chilly, so I'll put a bit of a woolly jumper on today. Because even though I've got lovely green heating in here, you know, I'm just thinking, let's not put that on just yet. I can put a jumper on. These are, oh, I've completely forgotten what they are, but anyway, they've got a lovely shape as well. And they've got lots of panels, little bits coming up here. And I think it's all about the line of the stalk. So here's some nigella. Nigella that I've grown in the garden at some point. And these are just gorgeous, and they have all of this lovely, see if I can show you there, all that lovely strandy stuff coming off them as well. So there's lots to look at, and I was thinking that what I might do is perhaps show you through one of my sketchbooks here, which I think some of you might have seen some of it before, but just a way of interpreting and getting into the mood, getting into the swing of feeling the seed heads and thinking about how you would like to interpret them. And as always, you know, playtime, see what comes out, add some words in. See there, I've written some words on that one. It's a piece of tracing paper or tissue paper, and I've typed the words or printed the words out onto some, what do you call it, tracing paper. That is tracing paper, that is tissue paper with paint on, and then behind that I've got the little seed heads, and I've drawn those, and then I've actually stitched those into the paper. So for me, it's all about building up like a vocabulary, exploring the subject, looking at the subject, interpreting the subject, and not making it a big deal. Don't make anything a big deal. It's about playtime. If you can draw, draw. I might do a little bit of drawing as well, perhaps in my next video. I have to confess, I'm about to have to give this camera up because my daughter's about to disappear back off to college. So somehow I've got to get myself a new camera between now and my next video, because I have got a little camera, but the focus on it isn't quite as good as on this one. So I shall see what I have to do that. It's been a funny old year this, and I never ever thought I would be making regular videos and putting them on YouTube. So I might just talk you through this little sketchbook a bit, and then I will think about how I'm going to move forward with this as a subject for myself personally, and what I can show you as well.